guys, what is up? It's Ashley. For today's video, I thought I would do a story time video because I've seen a lot of people doing these recently, and I thought that it would just be something fun to add into my channel. So I have no idea what I'm gonna title this video yet, but by the title you guys will probably get some idea of what happened to me. Basically, this all started about 6 months, I think, after I had turned 18, and I was working, and all of a sudden I just started getting like this random little like red rash on my legs. It was just kind of like little red dots. At first I thought it was just a rash from shaving, but then it didn't go away within like a couple of days. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just go to like the walk-in clinic and see what it might be. And the doctor there told me basically it was a rash from shaving, and he gave me some cream, I think, to put on there. And he said if it didn't go away within like a couple days, then maybe like come back and see him again. So after that had happened, it was probably like another like 2 days or something since I had seen him. So then I came home from work, and when I had come home, I was supposed to be going away to a cabin for the weekend. My ride came to pick me up, and she saw my legs and they had gotten worse, and like I didn't really think anything of it. And she saw my legs and she was like, no, like you should definitely like go see a doctor. And at that time it wasn't super bad. Like it was maybe the size of like pebbles on my legs, like little red dots. But before it was like little, like a pen mark. So it had gotten worse. And that night my mom came home and she took me to the hospital. After waiting for like 6 hours to see a doctor, by the time that my name had gotten called, I got up to go to the room and I could barely move my legs. I stood up and my legs were so stiff from like sitting in a chair for 6 hours. And so when I lifted up my sweatpants, my legs were like covered in this rash. Like so covered that you could barely see like most of my legs. And I'll insert like a picture here so that you guys can see basically what my legs looked like. My legs were so swollen and all of my joints were swollen, which is why like I could barely walk when I stood up. And then after seeing a doctor, the doctors kind of like looked at my legs and stuff, and they were kind of like, well, we might know what it is, have an idea, but we're gonna send you to a specialist to kind of get it checked out and get a biopsy done. So then a couple days later I went to go see the dermatologist so that he could do the biopsy and everything. And then I think it was probably still again like a couple days till I got the results back. But meanwhile, this whole time I had been having like super bad stomach pain and I didn't know why. And he told me when I was there that I might need something for the pain. I got the results back and they told me I had what was called Henoch-Schönlein purpura vasculitis, and it's an autoimmune disease that you get and they don't know what it's caused from. So I am like a disease to myself and not to anybody else though. So basically what happens is like the small blood vessels in my body were becoming inflamed. I don't know how to explain it. I ain't no doctor, but basically you could see it through my legs. So that's what like the whole rash was like blood vessels everywhere like on my legs, because this is normally only found in children and it would go away after like a month. But being that I was more on the adult side of things, they were like, well, we don't know how long it's gonna take till like you're gonna get better, if you do get better. And then while all that was happening, the stomach pains were getting worse. So I specifically remember the night, and I was sleeping over at Steve's house at the time, and I woke up at like 4 in the morning with like these insane stomach cramps. I didn't know what to do about it because like nothing worked. Like I tried taking Tylenol, I tried taking like Advil, and I tried like all these different things and like nothing was helping. And basically the stomach pains woke me up because they were so painful, like I couldn't sleep. And I remember like lying there crying, and I guess like my crying woke up Steve, and he was like, you need to do something about this, like you definitely need to go to like the hospital or like go to the emergency or something. So then my dad came and picked me up and took me to the hospital. Then the doctor came in and saw me, and they were just kind of like, oh, okay, stomach pains, whatever, like we'll give you some morphine. And so then they gave me some morphine. Probably like an hour or an hour and a half-ish later, they sent me home and they're like, okay, you'll be fine. Like your stomach pains are gone. I went back to the hospital and they gave me some different like pills to take. So they gave me, I think there was like Percocet, and they put me on some other one because the Percocet was making me tired, and they tried a different one and all it did was make me throw up. So for like a week straight, all I did was like sleep and eat rice cakes and throw up. And I couldn't do anything else, and everything else I tried to eat would not stay down and hurt my stomach. So in between that whole week of like being sick, there were a few times I went to the hospital again just because the stomach pain was so bad, and they kept giving me morphine after like morphine, and that's all they would give me. So then finally, the last time that I went to the hospital, my dermatologist told me that when I was going that I had to give the doctors his number so that they could call him and he would tell them that I had to be on these pills. Finally, they gave me these pills that I should have been on like a long time ago, and they were just steroids called prednisone. So basically this helped with all of the stomach pain, and they told me I could have ibuprofen to help with the stomach pains whenever I got them from eating food, because it still occasionally happened. And then also the last time that I was in the hospital there, the doctors finally sent me for a CT scan to see what was like wrong with my stomach, and basically what they found out was how like my legs were having like the blood vessels like get swollen and pop and stuff like that. That was happening to my intestines, which is why I had this like super bad stomach pain. So the doctors told me I wasn't really allowed to do any like physical exercise or use my legs a lot, because that would help all the blood flow to my legs, which would then cause the rash to come out. So I was home for about a month, and then I decided like, well, okay, well, maybe I'll try going back to work. By the time that I had left work, my legs were so bad. There was spots where I had like scratched them that I like made scratch marks of the rash. And like I'll insert a picture here, like you can see. Basically after that happened, I was like, okay, well, I can't go back to work. So I just did what the doctors told me and just stayed at home and basically did nothing. While being sick and while being on the prednisone, you should also work out, because prednisone can make you gain weight. Well, I wasn't allowed to like use my legs or walk around or do anything, so I couldn't do that, so that never happened, and I just gained the weight anyways. So my legs were like pretty bad at the beginning, and they just slowly got better and better. By the time that that had all happened, it was like 7 months. So I went back to work and my legs were actually fine, which was a huge relief, because I was like, well, now I can like work again, and I wasn't just like stuck at home doing nothing. I still have this whole vasculitis thing. The odd time, if I am like on my feet like for 16 hours or something, if I was on my feet for that long, I'd get a few spots on my legs, like 5 on each leg, and that is it. It might come back, it might not, it might be gone forever. Who knows what's gonna happen? So that was it for the story time video today, guys, and I think this video is going to be kind of long. And one of the huge things for me was that I tried to stay positive through everything. I mean, I wasn't the greatest at it, but I tried to stay positive, and I think that's a huge thing for anything. Like no matter what like struggle or problem you're going through in life, like try and stay like as positive as you can. If you did watch the whole video, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!